Hello, my fellow tutors and teachers. I have a question for you today. Why is it that when some tutors advertise their services, they get so many calls and so many DMs and so many leads that they get fully booked like that and they have a waiting list before they know it? And yet, when other tutors go to advertise their services, they get nothing. They just hear crickets, chirp, 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 and they don't get any students at all. What is going on here? There are many ways to advertise your tutoring services for free, and those methods are working really well for some tutors, but they're not working really well for everyone. And this video is going to be all about why they're not working. My name is Kelly, and I am the host of this YouTube channel and the admin of the Tutoring Tips for Teachers Facebook group. Come and join us there because we have lots of tips for you. I was a classroom teacher for 20 long years. I left the classroom to start my own tutoring business, and now that's what I do. I am a tutor for reading and math for elementary students, and I love it. All my tutoring dreams are coming true, and I want to help your tutoring dreams come true too. Back to our question. Why is it that free advertising is working like magic for some tutors and not working at all for other tutors? Well, I have a theory about that, and I think it has to do with what tutors are offering in their advertising. So in this video, I'm going to take you through 4 steps that you can do before you start advertising to make sure that what you're offering is something that parents and families and students really want to buy so that you can be fully booked as well, just like all those other tutors that are getting all these students from Facebook and flyers and all this free advertising. That's going to be you once you're finished watching this video. So let me go through the steps that we need to take to get to that point where you're getting so many leads from your ads. Okay, number one, you need to have an offer in the first place before you start advertising. Number two, you need to be very clear about who the offer is for. Number three, you need to validate the offer, which means you need to make sure that there are actually people out there who want to buy it before you put a lot of effort into advertising and planning lessons and all of that. And number four, you need to package the offer really nicely for people so that it looks very enticing and that they will want to take you up on your services. And then after you've completed those 4 steps, then you can get to step number 5, which is advertising, so that you can become fully booked. Let's start with step 1. You need to have an offer. What is an offer anyway? Well, whenever you advertise something, you're trying to sell something, and that something that you're trying to sell is your offer. So let's say you wanted to sell your car and you advertise it on Craigslist or wherever you advertise things in your community, and you say, I have this car for sale. Well, the car would be your offer. When you're advertising your tutoring service is your offer. But if that's all your offer is just tutoring, then that is probably not going to do the trick, okay? We need to have an offer that is very specific and that is going to show parents and students and families how you take a student from the point they are at now, which is probably a place of struggle, a place of frustration, a place of maybe fear of not being successful academically, how you're going to take them from that point to the transformation to becoming a successful, confident, happy learner. Your offer has to be about that. So an example of a strong offer might be if you are a reading tutor, that you will take a student who's a struggling reader right now, who's maybe reading 1 or 2 grade levels below where they should be, and in however many weeks your program takes, or however long you think it's going to take based on the data you've collected from your past students, let's say 10 weeks. That's what I use, okay? And in 10 weeks, you're going to transform them into a confident reader who's reading at least 1 grade level above where they started from. There's a strong offer, right? We're taking a student from a place of struggle to a place of success. And no matter what you tutor, you can do the same thing. If you want to just make this stuff up either. So if you've already been tutoring for a while, hopefully you've been tracking the progress of your students so that you can confidently say, yes, my students do read one grade level higher in 10 weeks. Here's the data to show it. Yes, my students do improve their math marks by, one grade level or two grade levels or whatever in a certain number of weeks. Here's the data to show it. Here's the students who have already experienced that success. So you want to be able to back it up. Now, what if you're brand new and you've never worked with any students before and you have no information or no data to back up these claims? And you know what? If you've been a teacher in school as well, then you have the success of your students in school, right? Where you've been teaching them maybe using the same methods that you plan to use in tutoring. So you can use that success as well to demonstrate how your program is going to be successful and how it's going to work. And if you have absolutely nothing to go on. You've never worked with any students, you've never worked in a school, you have no students who have experienced this kind of success, you have no data to back up your offer, then you're going to have to just keep that in mind when you're making your offer and kind of tailor your offer to that. So let's take it back to the example of a reading tutor. Let's say you are a reading tutor and you want to help students move up grade levels and you've done your research, you've maybe taken a training course in Orton Gillingham or Barton or Wilson or something like that, and you know about the science of reading and you know theoretically how it works and how it can help students improve, then you can say that in your offer. I'm trained in this, I've done my research in that, and you can maybe frame it more about your education and training if you don't have the results yet to show. So that's how you want to create your offer. You want to show results if you have them. If you don't, you want to highlight your education and training so that parents feel confident that you can transform their student from a struggling student to a star student. And you want your offer to basically be about that. You're making this transformation happen. You're taking the student from struggling to success, and that is your offer right there. So you're not just tutoring, because that's like, so what's that going to do for us, right? You're showing what your tutoring service is going to do for the student and for the family, and how you're going to help them experience success. So that is how you create an offer that nobody can resist. In step two, you need to be very clear about who your offer is for. So again, if you say, I'm just a tutor, I can tutor anyone, kindergarten to high school to college, it doesn't matter. That's not clear, okay? That's you may think you're attracting everyone, but you're actually not, because people would rather work with somebody who specializes in one certain subject or one certain age group. And when you specialize in something, it increases your value as a tutor as well. People are willing to pay for someone who has special expertise and can transform their student in that one certain subject area or that one certain age group that their student is. So think about who your offer is for, okay? So again, if you're the reading tutor, we're going back to that example again. So we're the reading tutor that is taking that struggling reader and going to move them up one grade level with all this wonderful science of reading training and background and experience that we have. Who is that offer for? Well, you could make that offer for students who are in third grade or second grade who have maybe fallen behind in kindergarten and first grade. So they need to catch up. So you can make your offer for them. Or if you want to work with older students, it could be students who are in the junior grades, like fourth, fifth, sixth grade, who have fallen behind and they haven't been able to reach their grade level. They're still reading at an elementary level, and we want to bring them up to grade level. So think about who you want to work with, what age group, what exactly you want to help them do, and then that is who your offer is going to be for, and you're going to advertise it for that very specific age group who is having a very specific struggle, like with reading, with math, with writing, whatever it is, and you're just going to really focus on those people. And it may seem like, oh, but I'm going to turn all the other people away. That's okay because your offer is not for them anyway. Focus on who your offer is for, and you're actually going to draw those specific people to you. So you have an offer, you know exactly who it's for. Now we are on to step three. Step three is you need to validate your offer. And by that, I mean, we have to make sure that people actually want to buy it. So you may create an offer like that nobody wants to buy. So maybe you want to teach physics to kids in kindergarten. And that's your offer. You're going to make those kindergarten kids the best physicists ever. But the kindergarten parents don't really want their kindergartens to learn physics. They want them to learn reading and math and basic stuff. So your offer's not really going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to really want to buy it. So how do you know people are going to want to buy your offer? How can you validate it and make sure that it's going to be something that people want to buy? Well, there's a few ways to do this. One is you can go in your local Facebook groups, like the parenting groups, the mommy groups, they're often called, but I know dads are in there too, so I don't want to leave the dads out, and the grandmas and grandpas and all of that. But in the parenting groups, you can see what people are talking about in there and look at the posts, especially where they're looking for a tutor. And if you notice that they're looking for a tutor that kind of fits your offer, then you'll know that people are out there looking for what you have to offer. That's one way to validate it. Another way is, especially if you are a parent, is to ask other parents in your community, ask your friends, ask your kids' friends, is this something that you would be interested in for your own child? And see if you can get any interest there. Not necessarily saying they have to buy your offer, but is it something they think parents like them would be interested in? That's another way you can get some information to validate your offer. Some other ways you can validate your offer is if you have an email list, you can ask the people on your email list if they would be interested in this offer. If you have an account on Instagram and you have like 100 or more followers, you could ask on Instagram and see if you could get any feedback there. So all of these ways that you can reach out to your network, to your community, to your following, and ask them if they would be interested in the offer. That's how you can validate your offer to see if it's going to have interest when you go to advertise it. Okay, step four is you need to package the offer. So you need to wrap it up with a nice little bow, figuratively speaking, and make a nice package for parents so that they will be like, wow, that's such a pretty offer. I really want to buy it. So how do you package your offer? Well, you're going to let parents know, first of all, about the transformation, of course, that's going to happen for their student, but you're also going to let them know what they're going to get if they decide to tutor with you. They're going to get online lessons, in-person lessons, follow-up emails, reports, assessments, all of the stuff, Google Classroom, all of the things that you would include in your tutoring service. You're going to package all of that up into your offer so that parents can see how valuable it is. And you want to make sure you package that all up with a nice, even the pricing, you can package it in terms of, like, if you sell a package of sessions, like 5 sessions for this price, or if it's just session by session, you say the price per hour or per half hour, which is what I do. So it makes it, the price comes down for the parent. The child is more engaged in a shorter amount of time. There's a lot of benefits to doing half-hour lessons, but so you're packaging it all up, the price, what the parent is going to get, what the offer is, how it's going to transform the student from this to that. You're going to package that all up nice and neat, and you're going to use that when you go to advertise so that your parents can see that there's this lovely offer and this nice, neat package, and we get all this stuff with it. How can we not go with this tutor? This is the perfect tutor for us. So make sure that you package your offer nicely so that the parents can see all of the wonderful benefits they're going to get from working with you. Okay, so now you've gone through all of those 4 steps. You've created an offer. You've decided who the offer is going to be for. You've validated the offer to make sure that people will be interested in it, and you've packaged the offer up nice and neat. You are ready to start advertising. And good news, in the description box below, I have a guide for you of 10 free ways to get more students. So now that you've done all of this work, you've done those 4 steps that we've just talked about, and you have your offer ready to go, when you go and do those 10 free advertising methods in the freebie, you're going to see a big difference. You're going to see that you will get calls, you will get leads, you will get students signing up. And it's going to be a huge transformation for you from maybe before, when you didn't go through those 4 steps, you didn't really have an offer, and you were just advertising general tutoring services. This is going to be a whole different story. So follow those 4 steps and really get your offer nicely packaged, nicely articulated, nicely ready to advertise. And then download that freebie in the description box below, 10 free ways to advertise your tutoring service. Start advertising and tell me in the comments, is it working? Are you getting students? I would love to know. Now, if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like it, because that helps me out so much. I can get these tips out to more teachers and more tutors all around the world here on YouTube. And if you want some more tips and more support, join us at the Tutoring Tips for Teachers Facebook group. We would love to see you there. Bye, everyone.